Hi everybody. Um, I don't really have too much to say for this video. I know many of you are expecting me to do another live stream or do another question and answer video, but honestly, I'm in a state of mind right now. um, I try to let it not get me when people attack me online and people question what I used to believe, question what I currently believe. I try to not let it get to me because I understand where they're coming from, and I certainly had a very similar point of view. Um, However, it is getting to me. It has started to get to me, and honestly, I don't really know how to deal with it except to talk it out to a camera. So today I want to tell you why I always say exactly who I am and exactly what happened to me. A lot of people have come to me and have told me that maybe it's not the wisest thing to do to tell everyone that you came from an abusive home because it discredits your message or somehow skews your perspective against Islam and makes you more biased against religion or any religion as a whole because you were abused by religion. Um, I would like to clarify that I left religion for theological purposes. I made a video on that. I made a video on why I left Islam. You people who seem to assume you know me better than I know myself, you really need to take a step back and stop being so arrogant, okay? I used to practice your religion. If you are arrogant, you need to stop that shit right now because it's against one of the biggest rules in your religion. I don't know what to tell you. And every time I say things like that, people will say, oh, well, you don't practice it anymore. I know I don't. That's why I'm telling you, because you do practice it. Um, I hate associating with people who are arrogant. I find them detestable. I find them just reprehensible. Like I can't be around them. Anytime I'm talking to them or I'm around them or I feel them near me, I get hives. I get like really itchy. I feel like I'm in a pool of mud and I need to get out. And there's many reasons for that. One of the biggest reasons is that most of the people in my life before I left Islam were like that, who thought they knew everything and assumed everything about other people. I used to be like that as a Muslim. I used to assume a lot of things about people without even asking them. You know, I used to think that people who left Islam were leaving purely because they're emotional wrecks that can't reconcile their faith with what they've gone through. I want to cover two different points in this video, and I'm saying this because I haven't written anything down. I don't have a script in front of me. I'm just trying to rationalize everything that I'm feeling. Um, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if you have a problem with that, you're free to fucking leave. I don't need people who are going to naysay me because I have emotions. I'm sorry. I'm a functioning human being with an empathetic mind, and I have emotions. And if that's too much for you, you can get out. Um, so I want to cover two things. The first thing is the whole abuse thing and how it relates to me leaving a religion, and I will deal with that now. And later on, I want to talk about why I talk about abuse. So let's go with the first thing, okay? How my abuse somehow relates to Islam. Now, many people are under the impression, many Muslims, I should say, are under the impression that people leave Islam because their families were bad to them. Let me clarify. I was a Muslim for over 20 years. Over 20 years of my life, I was a Muslim, and for over 20 years, my family has been abusive. Never once have I blamed abuse on an idea. People commit atrocities. People are abusive. Ideas may cite abusive things, but at the end of the day, they do not abuse anyone. You cannot say that I left something because it abused me. Um, my family were abusive throughout my entire life. My faith was as strong as fucking iron. It didn't matter what people did to me. And I'm still the same way now. You can abuse me as much as you like for an idea I have. I'm not going to leave it simply because you abuse me for it. You know, people also, you know, I grew up in the time after 9/11. You think I didn't have the same experience as a Muslim as you outside in the world? And it wasn't like I was going around like this with my hair out and my tits out. I was covered from head to toe. I was wearing a full face niqab. You think I didn't get abuse because of that? And it was never physically abused. But did people question my belief? Did people say that my beliefs was stupid? Of course they did. You think that I just left because somebody said, I don't like your belief system? No. Fuck that. I am my own person. I've always been my own person, and I'm sorry I choke in videos. It is something that I've had to deal with for many years now. Okay, I always choke when I talk because I haven't felt the need to raise my voice to people up until recently, up until very recently. So please excuse my choking. But I am not so like thin-willed, so weak-minded that I would simply be put off an idea because somebody beat me one time, or somebody threw me against a wall, or somebody said something to me. Because that's not how ideas work in my head, okay? And you can say all you like about me being abused and me leaving Islam. My father had not beaten Islam into me, and he certainly didn't beat Islam out of me. I followed Islam because I thought it was the truth, and I left Islam because I thought leaving Islam was the right thing to do because I could not believe in it anymore. And I don't know what's so difficult about that idea. What is so difficult about that idea? Why are you so fucking threatened that I have left your fucking cult? What is so difficult? Tell me. Your God is a cruel God. You don't like it? Exit stage left. The door is over there. Fucking, you don't have to watch me. You don't have to listen to my content. You don't have to listen to my opinion. You don't have to accept anything. I am not a divine creature. I have no effect on what you believe. And no one else has an effect on what I believe. I believe what I believe because I choose to believe it. I know that's a very difficult thing for you to understand because you're so stuck in your frame of denial, in your frame of belief, that you can't possibly accept that people have a free will to decide what they want to do. I know it's tough, but girl, listen to me, okay? Listen to me and hear me when I say that I can make my own choices. I do not need a driving force to choose my own things, okay? I don't need an external person to tell me, you're a fucking loser, you shouldn't be believing these things, you should believe something else. And I love that you're so self-righteous. You're so self-righteous in your own mind. Oh, what if you weren't abused? What if nobody said anything bad to you? Maybe you'd still be a Muslim. Fuck if I know. Fuck if I know. I know why I left. I left because your fucking God is a fucking maniac. Your God is a fucking maniac. He burns people in hell even though he knew everything his creation was gonna fucking do. He knew what Iblis was gonna do. You think he just made him and was just like, oh fuck, I made evil. No, he knew exactly what he was going to do, according to your books. The guy knows everything. The guy knows fucking everything. He created a demon, okay, that's going to guide like 90% of his creation astray, and you want me to accept that he's the good guy? Please. Please. Get the fuck out. That, believe it or not, is a theological point of view, okay? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm a theologian, like I know everything about every god ever in existence, and I don't know why I would need to know about every god in existence. Why would I need to know? I feel like basic empathy is good enough to understand that someone is a fucking psycho demon bitch. Like they would make something, know exactly what it was going to do, set out some arbitrary rules like don't eat fucking pigs and don't wipe your ass with your right hand, and then burn that creature. Tell me how that's not a fucking psycho. Tell me. And tell me how a finite crime, okay? Tell me how a finite crime, also crime in quotations, like being a polytheist and believing in more gods than one. Tell me how any fucking crime that is finite deserves an eternal punishment. Tell me. Fucking tell me. And tell me how that's not theological reasons for not believing in a God. Tell me. Tell me how any of that is abuse related. Fucking tell me. I'm so fucking done with people assuming they know what I believe. They assume what I went through. Unless you are inside this brain, unless you know exactly what is going on inside this mind, unless you are beneath my skin, feeling every pulse that I feel, you don't have a right to assume my mind. Get the fuck out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like going into a store and saying that you own the place because you know exactly why they set up the store, to make money. You don't. You don't fucking own the place. Jesus fucking Christ on a flaming bicycle. Like, what the fuck? Who else do people do that to? Do you go into a bride's house and assume everything she wants for her wedding? No, because it's her wedding. She decides. But for some reason, you can decide why I left a religion, an entire way of life. Get the fuck out. Moving on to the second thing, why I keep talking about abuse. I will forever talk about abuse. You know why? Because for 20 years, I covered it up. I covered it up outside my home. I covered it up at school. I covered it up wherever I went. And everyone in my family knew it was going on and didn't want to do anything about it except just pretend it wasn't going on. And so many people have come to me and told me that my experience is relatable to them because it is their experience. It is a shared experience. Why should I not talk about it? And why do people keep shaming me for it? Are you that fucked in the head that you shame people for being abused? Are you that fucked in the fucking head? No wonder you need a religion to tell you that you're okay. No fucking wonder. Abuse is a very serious ordeal. It changes people, it breaks people. If you think for a second that I will ever stop talking about it, you're wrong. I'll keep talking about it until people stop abusing their kids and their wives and just people. It's a fate that I would not wish on anyone. No matter how bad they were, no matter how horrible they are in real life, it is a horror that I would not want for a single human being on this planet. Yet for some reason, people like you, and you know who you are, feel it fitting to shame people who are abused. Even if I did leave for that reason, how dare you say that my concept of reasoning is not just for leaving. And here I am, fucking crying again on camera. It's been 5 years. 5 years since I've been... Has it been 5? It's been 4. 4 years since I left that house. Left all of it behind me. And it's gonna follow me forever. And for a long time, I kept everything. 20 years. More. Kept everything in here. Where it's safe, where people can't pull it out of me and stab me with it. For over 20 years, I was a victim, and you stabbed me with my victimhood. I want to know what gives you the right to do that to a human being. Fuck the Muslim stuff, fuck the Islam stuff, fuck the ex-Muslim stuff. What gives you the right to stab me with my own pain as a human being? Fucking savages. You're fucking savages. You're all fucking savages. Every single one of you who have said that to me. That your reason for leaving isn't valid. That your abuse thing was the reason you left. You're all fucking savages because you don't understand a fucking thing. Not a single thing. Not only do you invalidate my identity, you also invalidate my suffering. And if you think that that somehow makes you a bigger person, whether that be in the eyes of your community, in the eyes of human beings, or in the eyes of your God, you're a savage. You're a savage, worse than anything. there's anything anyone wants to take away from this mess, please don't use people's victimhood against them. Don't assume to know what it feels like if you don't know what it feels like. Don't assume to know what it feels like to be betrayed by the people you trusted your entire life, people who are set up to love you unconditionally. If you don't know what it feels like to be betrayed and threatened and almost killed by those people, don't assume to know. In the same way, you wouldn't assume to know what someone feels like if they are raped or kidnapped or they suffer in any kind of way. Don't assume to know their suffering and don't assume to know them. Because some of these things are a fate worse than death. Fucking savages. Fucking savages. I can't move on from the suffering. And you know what's halting it? Is bullshit like this. Invalidating my suffering, invalidating me as a human being. If you think it's your religion, you know what, fuck it. I'm done. Not with life, just with this video. I'm done. Sorry if I upset anyone. Except if you're a fucking savage, then you deserve to be upset. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.